In this video, I will dive through what's in my bag as a birdwatcher, all the different gear that's in my bag and that I actually have on me as I'm birdwatching, but also the stuff that I leave in the car. So in part one, I'll start with what I have in my car that I'm not actually dragging along on the hike or on the walk. And then in part two of this video, I'll tell you what I actually have on me as I'm walking. The first thing that I like to have in the car is a bird field guide. Some people like to bring this with them on the actual walk, but I just find it gets quite heavy with the more stuff that I'm carrying, which just makes it more difficult to walk. So I just keep this in the car, but it's really useful. After the walk, when I get back, I can quickly look through and try to identify the different birds that I've seen. The second thing I like to bring is a big battery pack, and I actually have 3 of these, and they allow me to charge my camera quite quickly and multiple times over. The battery that I use is this one here, and it's been really useful. A few weeks ago, I went up to Glupot Reserve in South Australia. It is very far away from anything, and there is not a lot there. So it's really useful to have these battery packs so I can charge my gear as I'm away on long trips, or even on a day trip. It lets me charge my stuff, maybe whilst I'm at a cafe or enjoying lunch. Item number 3 in the car is a hat. Even if it's raining or sunny or cloudy or whatever it is, I like to have a hat and leave it in the car. That way if the weather changes, it's not a problem. The fourth thing to bring is a tripod. This is really useful. If you're going on long hikes, then you probably won't want to carry a tripod with. There are really light ones that are quite useful to have, but if you're not specifically taking photos that require long exposure or something like that, then it can be useful just to leave the tripod in the car. Number 5 is a fold chair. The amount of times that I've gone out to a national park or something and then realized it would be quite nice to sit down. If you're out at a national park for a day or for a weekend, it's just quite nice to have a chair with you. Number 7 is snack bars. I've only recently started doing this, and I don't know why I never did it before. Normally I would just pack a lunch or sometimes not pack anything, which was also not the smartest. So now I've started packing some protein bars, so when I get back from the hike, I actually have something quickly that I can eat. And lastly, in the car, sunscreen and bug repellent. It's been really useful, just leave it in the car. That way I always have it if I need it. If I've missed anything that you keep in the car, then let me know in the comments below. Alright, part 2, what's in my bag as I'm actively going out and birdwatching. Number 1 is a camera. I use this camera here, a Sony. I absolutely love it. It's been amazing. And for the price point, I've been really impressed with the photos. Even if you're more into the birdwatching side rather than the bird photography side, it's really fun to have a camera even if you're not taking award-winning photos. Number 2 is having 5 SD cards. Normally I would have 1 or 2 SD cards, and then if there's an issue with the SD card or if the SD card is still full, it's just really annoying when you're out and you want to take a photo. So I realized I'll just buy some SD cards. So I have 5 SD cards, so that is no longer a problem. Similar to that, number 3, I have extra camera batteries. I used to only have 1 camera battery, and it's quite annoying. You're always looking at the percentage of the camera battery, and you're thinking, should I take this photo? I see a pretty common bird up in the trees. I don't know if it's worth using my camera battery, and you're starting to do all this maths in your head. Just buy some extra camera batteries. It's so worth it. Number 4, again for camera users, is actually to have a microphone on your camera. On this channel, I actually have a few different birdwatching vlogs, and I used to not have a microphone attached to my camera, and then I realized I was missing out on capturing the actual bird calls and the bird songs of the birds, and it's been really amazing to have. One of my favorite things that I captured was a European goldfinch in a tree. It was singing in a tree, and I got really crisp footage of it singing with this microphone. Number 5, an obvious one, a water bottle. You should bring a water bottle. If you have any recommendations on good ones, let people know in the comments. I know some people get very specific on which brand of water bottle is the best. And then lastly, you have to bring your binoculars. If you're a bird watcher and you don't have binoculars, it is the first thing I recommend that you buy. Having a camera and taking photos is really fun, but it does sometimes take away from the actual bird watching. So investing in some high quality binoculars is really useful. If you want me to make a video on which binoculars to buy, let me know in the comments. Or if you are taking bird photos and you want to learn how to edit them, then click on one of these videos here where I have a full tutorial on how to edit your bird photos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this useful.